Hi everyone, it's Valerie from Earthrella Soap and Candle Company. Today I am making a brand new soap in my brand new mold. This is my 36 bar slab mold by Brambleberry. It has this wood lid, and these are the cavities for the 36 bars, and they come right out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my batter, my soap batter, into the mold. Then I will place the dividers in and let it cure, or let it set for like 24 to 48 hours. And then my bars, it should pop right out. This is my first time using this, and I don't want to have any issues with my bars coming out, because I've read a lot of reviews and I've seen a lot of videos, and a lot of soapers have issues trying to get their bars out of the cavities. So I have added, I just added some sodium lactate to my oils, and this is going to be a 12-pound soap. So, and normally my other molds, it's a little over 8 pounds. So this is going to be a 12-pound loaf that I'm making, and so I put in 12 teaspoons of sodium lactate. So that will harden my bars and hopefully will help them release easier out of each cavity. So this is the mold I'm going to be using today. I'm really excited to try it. I've had it for like 3 months and I haven't even used it yet. So now the soap I'm going to be making today, I forgot to grab my color here. 1 second. Okay, so the soap I'm making today, it's going to be an easy one pour. It's going to be dark brown, and then on top I'm going to have these cute little pigs that I made yesterday out of melt and pour soap. So can you see those little pigs? Aren't they cute? Oh, I think they're adorable. So I made 36 of these little pigs, and these are going to be on top of the brown batter, so it's going to look like pigs sitting in mud. The fragrance I'm using today is Brown Sugar by Crafter's Choice, which I get from Wholesale Supplies Plus. This smells so good. It smells like a fresh open bag of brown sugar. You can smell the sugar and the molasses. It just smells so good. So I thought that would be a good scent to be using for this specific soap. I'm also going to be adding in some pumice powder. I have it pre-measured here, but here's the bag. So I'm using a little bit of pumice powder because I want this to be a scrubby soap. So I think that's everything. I have my oils and butters that I melted down yesterday, and so they are in this container. And then I have my lye water in this container. This is a much bigger batch than I'm used to making, so I hope it all goes according to plan. Usually I just make an 8-pound mold, or an 8-pound loaf, so this is quite a bit bigger. It's 50% bigger than I usually make. And for the brown color, for the dirt or the mud, I'm going to be using my gingerbread brown mica. This is my brown that I use for pretty much everything whenever I need a brown. I have other brown colorants, but this one's my favorite. I always go back to my gingerbread brown. Okay, so that's everything, and I gotta go grab my mixer and we'll get started. So my batter is still really fluid, so that's good for pouring, but I'm going to have to wait after I pour it. I'm going to have to wait a little bit before putting the pigs on top, because I think they will just sink right down into the soap. So I'm going to go grab my mold. this out. All right, so this is, oops, my thing's not, there you go. So this is just gonna be a 1 pour. So I'm just gonna dump this right in here. So I'm going to put my dividers in now. All right, so the only thing I have left to do is to put my little pigs on top. But if I put them in now, I think they're gonna sink a little bit. So I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes and then I'm gonna put my little pigs on top. So I'll be right back. Okay, so my soap has set up just enough to let my little pigs set on top. So I'm gonna put a little pig on in every cavity and just push it down just a little bit so it looks like it's really in that mud. Alright, so all my pigs are on each bar of soap. I'm just gonna spray the top with some rubbing alcohol. And I'm gonna let this sit. I'm not gonna cover it because I was soaping at room temperature. So I don't need this or want this to go through a gel phase. So I'm going to just let this sit for 24 to 48 hours. I will check it tomorrow morning and see if they are ready to come out. If not, I'll let them sit in for another day. But I'm hoping I will be able to unmold this tomorrow. So we will see. I will be back. Okay guys, it's the next day. It has been 24 hours. I came down here last night to just check on the soaps and see how they were setting up. And that's when it kind of dawned on me that yesterday my main concern was how am I going to get each of the bars out of the cavities. But then I was like, how am I going to get all of this out of the mold? There's like no bottom that falls out or sides that lift up. So I guess I'm just going to have to flip it over, which concerns me because the pigs stick up higher than the dividers and I don't want them to get damaged. So this is going to be a little tricky. And I'm not even sure if they're completely ready to come out. I'm just going to try it and see if they do. And if they're not easily able to come out, then I'm going to give it another 24 hours. So I'm just going to see how this works. I'm going to stand it up. I really don't want to damage any of them. All right, so this is sliding out. Oh, okay. All right, so that wasn't too bad. Let's head this aside. That mold is really heavy. All right, so I had these extra dividers that I set in there because it helped the other dividers fit a little bit better. I had just 2 of those in. All right, so I think It's tearing a little bit of my soap. It's a little tacky and just seems like the corners. Usually when I put sodium lactate in my soaps and I use my silicone mold, within 24 hours they are ready to be unmolded. I mean, when you put sodium lactate in them, it's almost like they start unmolding themselves. It's so easy. So I was hoping this would happen with this mold, but I'm just trying to fill in the little pieces here that came out. But this isn't a silicone mold, so maybe that's why it's not performing the same. So now I still have that big, huge bottom piece. So all of this is sitting on one big plastic piece. And I'm not sure how to get that off without damaging my soaps. Okay, this is gonna be tricky. I feel like I'm having flashbacks from when I did my candy cane soap in that clear mold back in, I don't know if it was October, November. I did a candy cane soap and I tried a new completely clear mold and I struggled and struggled and struggled with it. And I don't have that mold anymore. I got rid of it because it was awful. Oh, so that one just came out. I'll just have to clean up the edges. But that came out pretty easily. So maybe I just need to wiggle these pieces. It smells like brown sugar. Maybe I should have lined the bottom with some freezer paper. I'm wondering if that would have helped. It probably would have. And I could have just peeled it off. I don't want to like stick a knife or something down there because then it's going to mess up that other edge of my soap. I feel like I'm missing something. Like there should be an easier way to do this. Like the two corner pieces came out. Like these two will probably come out easy. Yeah. So the four corner pieces come out pretty easily. The question is, how do you get the rest of them out? And now I'm misshaping this one. So they're still a little soft. Kind of looks like fudge. Making me hungry. See, these dividers do not just lift up. This is the one that would lift up. Let's try this. I don't want to damage the mold either. Alright, so maybe that's the trick. Alright, so I got that one divider out. Let's try this one. There's two out. Alright, so all of the dividers are off. Now I just have to get all of the soaps off, and they are like suctioned to the bottom piece. So next time I will definitely line it with some freezer paper. That would have made my life so much easier if I had done that. Live and learn. So I have this little scrapey tool that I use for my wax. So I'm gonna use it for this. This should make this a little bit easier. That's so much easier. All right. And can I just point out, this is why I hate these vinyl gloves. I already put a hole in my thumb. These vinyl gloves do not last very long at all. I have much better luck with the nitrile gloves, but I'm having a hard time finding them locally or even online. A lot of the places that I used to order them from say they're still not shipping, so I can't get nitrile gloves. Okay, so it wasn't as bad as I had expected it to be to unmold, but it definitely could have been a lot easier. So next time I will line this bottom part of the mold with freezer paper. That will help immensely. And next time I will probably leave it in the mold for maybe another 12 hours. It probably should have sat for a little bit more, but I'm impatient and I wanted to unmold it. I'm not a patient person. I think 24 hours is like even too long to have to wait to see what your soap is going to look like. Alright, so I have some cleaning to do. So these are what the end result is. They're good sized chunky bars. I actually do like the size of the bars. Let me weigh one and see what they weigh. So right now they're 6.35 ounces. So my goal was 5 ounces per bar. So I think after they finish curing, they'll be around 5 ounces. So that's a perfect size bar, and they fit really nice in your hand. So I think, I mean, I do like this mold a lot, and I'm going to start using it more. I just need to perfect the unmolding process. And as you can see, there's a lot of cleanup in this with this mold. With my silicone mold, there's very little cleanup. You just have the silicone liner and that's pretty much it. But now I have the bottom piece and all of these dividers that all need to be cleaned. So it's a little more work, but you also get 36 bars versus what I used to get was 18 with my silicone mold. So this is my soap, and I'm going to name this one Don't Be a Pig, Wash Your Hands. I had asked everyone on my Facebook page what they thought of a few different names, and also on Instagram, and a lot of them said that they liked the wash your hand, don't be a pig, wash your hands. So this is going to be this is going to be Don't Be a Pig, Wash Your Hands soap, scented in brown sugar.